In the next few minutes, I'm going to reveal 7 psychological secrets that can completely transform how people perceive you. But here's the catch, most people get these completely wrong. In fact, there's one mistake that 87% of people make that actually repels others without them even knowing it. And we're going to start with that mistake right now. Mistake number 1, picture this. 2 people walk into the same room. Same height, similar looks, wearing similar clothes. But within 60 seconds, everyone gravitates toward one person while completely ignoring the other. What's the difference? It's not what you think. It's not confidence. It's not humor. It's not even good looks. It's something psychologists call the attention paradox, and once you understand it, you'll never see social interactions the same way again. But before I reveal what this is, I need to tell you about a study from Harvard that shocked even the researchers themselves. Dr. Amy Cuddy and her team at Harvard wanted to understand what makes someone instantly likable, so they set up a fascinating experiment. They brought in 200 volunteers and had them watch videos of people in social situations. But here's where it gets interesting. The researchers secretly manipulated one variable in each video, and the results were mind-blowing. People rated individuals with this one trait as 73% more attractive, 65% more trustworthy, and here's the kicker, to 89% more likely to be someone they'd want to spend time with. So what was this magical trait? Was it beauty? Intelligence? Charisma? None of those. It was something so simple you're going to kick yourself for not knowing it sooner. But first, let me ask you something that might make you uncomfortable. How many times have you walked away from a conversation thinking, I should have said something different? Or worse, why didn't they seem interested in me? If you're nodding right now, you're not alone, and it's not your fault. We've been taught completely backwards thinking about human psychology. The Harvard trait? It was presence. Not just being physically there, but being mentally, emotionally, completely present with the other person. But here's the problem, to 94% of people think they're being present when they're actually doing the exact opposite. Secret number 1, the attention paradox. Here's the paradox. The more you try to get someone's attention, the less interesting you become. But the more attention you give to them, the more magnetic you become. Let me tell you about Sarah. She's a friend of mine who couldn't figure out why her dates always fizzled out. She was funny, successful, attractive. Everything should have worked. But she made one crucial mistake. On every date, Sarah would prepare interesting stories about her travels, her work achievements, her hobbies. She'd dominate conversations trying to impress. And it backfired every single time. Then she tried something radical. On her next date, she asked one simple question and then just listened. Really listened. She asked follow-up questions. She showed genuine curiosity. And you know what happened? Her date said it was the best conversation he'd had in years. Why? Because he felt truly heard for the first time in months. Neuroscientists call this neurological validation. When someone feels truly heard, their brain releases dopamine and oxytocin, the same chemicals involved in addiction and love. You literally become associated with pleasure in their mind. Okay, pause everything. I want you to try this right now. Think about the last conversation you had. How much time did you spend thinking about what you were going to say next versus actually listening to what they were saying? Drop a comment right now. Guilty if you realized you were already planning your response while they were talking. Don't worry, we all do it. Here's a simple technique that will change everything. The 3-second rule. After someone finishes speaking, count to 3 before responding. Those 3 seconds do 2 things. They show you're actually processing what they said. They prevent you from interrupting their thoughts. Try it today and watch how differently people respond to you. Secret. #2. The vulnerability advantage. This next secret goes against everything you've been taught about making good impressions. Ready for this? Your weaknesses are actually your greatest strengths, but only if you reveal them the right way. Let me tell you about the most charismatic person I've ever met. His name was Marcus, and when I first met him, he did something that should have been social suicide. We were at a networking event, one of those places where everyone's trying to impress everyone else. Marcus walks up to our group and says, "Hi, I'm Marcus. I'm terrible at these things, and I probably just interrupted something important, didn't I?" Everyone laughed. Not at him, but with him. Within 5 minutes, he had the entire group sharing their own networking horror stories. By the end of the night, he had more business cards than anyone else there. Here's what Marcus understood that most people don't. Perfect people are boring. Psychologist Elliot Aronson discovered something called the pratfall effect. People actually like you more when you show minor flaws or make small mistakes. Why does this work? Because perfection creates distance. It makes you seem unreachable, intimidating. But calculated vulnerability creates connection. It says, I'm human just like you. The vulnerability formula. But here's the key, there's a formula to this. You can't just dump all your problems on someone and expect them to be charmed. The SAFE vulnerability formula. Small, not life-altering confessions. Authentic, genuinely something you've experienced. Funny, if possible. Find the humor in it. Empowering, show what you learned from it. Instead of, I'm bad with technology, try, I once spent an hour trying to figure out why my computer wouldn't turn on, only to realize it wasn't plugged in. Now I always check the obvious things first. Secret number 3, the mirror neuron effect. This third secret is based on one of the most powerful discoveries in neuroscience. And once you understand it, you'll have an almost unfair advantage in every social situation. In the 1990s, researchers in Italy made an accidental discovery that changed everything we know about human connection. They were studying brain activity in monkeys when they noticed something strange. When one monkey watched another monkey grab a banana, the exact same neurons fired in the observer's brain, as if they were grabbing the banana. They called these mirror neurons, and humans have them too. Here's what this means for you. People literally feel what you're feeling. If you're anxious, they become anxious. If you're excited, they become excited. If you're calm and confident, they feel calm and confident around you. I learned this the hard way during a job interview. I was nervous, fidgeting, speaking quickly. The interviewer started fidgeting too. The whole room felt uncomfortable. Then I did something that changed everything. I took a deep breath, slowed down my speech, and relaxed my shoulders. Within 30 seconds, the interviewer visibly relaxed too. The entire energy of the room shifted. I got the job. This is why confidence is so attractive. It's not about arrogance or showing off. True confidence is simply being comfortable in your own skin. And when you're comfortable, everyone around you becomes comfortable too. Practical mirror neuron techniques. Here are 3 ways to use mirror neurons to your advantage. 1. The emotional anchor technique. Before any important social interaction, spend 60 seconds getting into the emotional state you want others to feel. Want them to feel excited about your idea? Get excited yourself first. 2. The energy match method. Pay attention to the energy level of the room, then gradually shift it. If everyone's low energy, don't come in like a tornado. Match their energy first, then slowly bring it up. 3. The breathing sync. This sounds weird, but it works. Subtly match the breathing rhythm of the person you're talking to. They'll subconsciously feel more connected to you. Secret number 4. The curiosity gap. This next secret comes from behavioral psychology, and it's probably the most powerful tool for keeping people engaged. It's called the curiosity gap. Researchers found that curiosity activates the same brain regions as physical cravings. When you create curiosity, people literally crave resolution. It becomes almost impossible for them to walk away. Let me show you how this works. I'm going to tell you a story, but I'm going to do it wrong first. Then wrong way yesterday. I went to the grocery store and bought some milk. The cashier was friendly, and we had a nice chat about the weather. Then I went home. Right way, yesterday at the grocery store. The cashier said something to me that completely changed how I think about success. But before I tell you what it was, let me ask you something. Can you feel the difference? The second version creates a gap between what you know and what you want to know. That gap creates psychological tension that demands resolution. The formula. Here's the curiosity gap formula. 1. Hint at valuable information. 2. Suggest it will benefit them. 3. Create a small barrier or deliver the payoff. Instead of saying, I have some advice for you, try, I learned something yesterday that I wish someone had told me 10 years ago. Want to hear it? Secret number 5. The Benjamin Franklin effect. This secret is counterintuitive and powerful. It's named after Benjamin Franklin, who discovered something amazing about human psychology. Franklin had a political rival who disliked him. Instead of trying to win him over with favors, Franklin did something unexpected. He asked his rival to lend him a rare book. The rival agreed, and afterwards, he became one of Franklin's closest allies. Why? Because of a quirk in human psychology. We like people more after we do them a favor, not before. Here's what happens in your brain. When you do someone a favor, your brain thinks, I must like this person. Otherwise, why would I help them? It's cognitive consistency in action. This works in dating, business, friendships, everywhere. But the key is asking for the right kind of favor. Small and specific. Not overwhelming. Within their expertise, makes them feel valued. Genuinely helpful to you, authentic appreciation. Instead of, "Can you help me move this weekend?" Try, "You're so good with design, could you take a quick look at this logo and tell me what you think?" Secret number 6. The storytelling advantage stories are the ultimate psychological weapon. When you tell a story, something magical happens in the listener's brain. The neuroscience. Researchers using brain scans discovered that when someone hears a story, their brain activity mirrors that of the storyteller. It's called neural coupling. You literally synchronize brains. The power. This is why stories are more persuasive than facts. Facts hit the analytical brain. Stories bypass logic and go straight to emotions. The framework. Every compelling story needs these elements. Character, relatable protagonist. Conflict, problem or challenge. Change, transformation or insight. Connection relevant to the listener. Instead of saying, "Time management is important." Last month, I was drowning in deadlines. I was staying up until 2 a.m. every night, drinking coffee like it was water. Then my mentor taught me one simple trick that gave me back 10 hours a week. Notice how the story creates immediate engagement? You want to know the trick, right? That's the power of narrative structure. Secret number 7, the scarcity principle. The final secret might be the most powerful of all. It taps into a fundamental human drive that makes people value you more. The principle. People want what they can't have. But here's the sophisticated part. It's not about playing hard to get. It's about being selectively available. The difference. Playing hard to get is manipulative and obvious. Being selectively available is about having genuine standards and priorities. Story illustration. I know someone named David who transformed his social life with this principle. He used to say yes to everything, every invitation, every request, every social event. People took him for granted. The shift. Then he started being more selective. Not rude, just choosy about how he spent his time. He'd say things like, "That sounds great, but I already committed to helping my sister that night." "Sure, I'd love to, but I'm working on a personal project that's really important to me." The result? Suddenly people valued his time more. When he did show up, it felt special. Invitations to spend time with him became more meaningful because they weren't guaranteed. The psychology. This works because scarcity creates value. But it only works if the scarcity is authentic, based on real priorities and genuine commitments. Okay, we've covered 7 powerful psychological principles, but here's the thing, knowing them isn't enough. You need a system to apply them. The integration challenge. The mistake most people make is trying to use all these techniques at once. It comes across as manipulative and fake. Instead, focus on one at a time until it becomes natural. The 30-day challenge, here's what I want you to do. Week 1, focus only on presence. Practice the 3-second rule. Week 2, add strategic vulnerability using the SAFE formula. Week 3, work on energy management and mirror neurons. Week 4, practice storytelling and curiosity gaps. Tracking progress. Pay attention to how people respond to you. Do conversations last longer? Do people seem more engaged? Do you feel more connected? The warning, remember, these aren't manipulation tactics. They're ways to become more genuinely engaging and authentic. The goal isn't to trick people into liking you. It's to remove the barriers that prevent people from seeing who you really are. Advanced techniques. Before we wrap up, I want to give you 3 advanced techniques that most psychology courses won't teach you. Technique 1. The assumption. Reversal. Instead of assuming people won't be interested in you, assume they will be, but only if you give them a reason. This subtle shift changes your entire energy. Technique 2. The value-first approach. Always enter interactions thinking, how can I add value to this person's day? Not, what can I get from them? People sense this difference immediately. Technique 3. The authentic compliment method. Most compliments are about appearance or achievements. Powerful compliments are about character or effort. You have a really thoughtful way of asking questions, hits deeper than nice shirt. The meta principle. Here's the ultimate secret that ties everything together. All of these techniques work because they help you become more genuinely interested in other people. And genuinely interesting people are naturally attracted to genuinely interested people. So there you have it, 7 psychological secrets that can transform how people perceive you. But remember, Knowledge without action is just entertainment. The challenge. I challenge you to pick one of these techniques and use it in your very next conversation. Then come back and tell me what happened in the comments. Engagement hooks. Which technique surprised you the most? Drop a comment and let me know. And if this video helped you, hit that subscribe button. I've got more psychology secrets coming that will blow your mind. Next week, I'm revealing the 3 psychological mistakes that instantly kill attraction, and one of them is something 90% of people do in the first 30 seconds of meeting someone. Until then, remember, you don't need to be perfect to be magnetic. You just need to be authentically, genuinely you, but with a little psychological insight to help you show it.